Some stories never fade. Some legends echo through time. And then there is Kalijai, a girl whose name became a prayer and whose sorrow turned into a mystery. But who was she? A mere girl swallowed by the waves, or something beyond human comprehension? Tonight, we uncover the hidden mystery of Kalijai, an eternal legend from the Indian state of Odisha. It was a night unlike any other. The winds howled, rattling the thatched rooftops of a quiet fishing village near Chilika Lake. The storm raged outside, but inside a humble hut, a different kind of storm was unfolding, a storm of life itself. Under the dim light of an oil lamp, a child took her first breath. A girl. But something was strange. The newborn did not cry. She only opened her eyes, dark, deep, and knowing, as if she understood the world far more than she should. Outside, the villagers whispered among themselves. She was born on an ominous night. The lake was restless. Jais, she named her. A simple name. But fate had more in store for her, much more. As the years passed, strange things happened around the girl. Fishermen swore the waters of Chilika Lake moved differently when she was near. Birds did not flee from her. They followed. And on nights when the moon was full, some claimed they heard a voice floating over the waves singing a song no one had ever taught her. Kalijai. Her name carried through the village like a whispered secret, growing with her, entwining her fate with the lake and the unseen. Some believed she was touched by the divine, a child of destiny. Others feared she was marked by misfortune, a soul cursed by forces beyond understanding. But one truth remained: Kalijai was not like the others. She was different, and the lake knew it too. In a land where the waters hold more secrets than men, a different child is always a dangerous thing. But no one, not even the wisest of elders, could have foretold what was to come. Her story was only just awakening. They say the waters of Chilika Lake hold more than just fish and reeds. They hold whispers, shadow secrets lost in time. And among those secrets was a girl, Kalijai, a name spoken with reverence and fear. From the moment she was born, the villagers knew she was different. And as she grew, their whispers turned into uneasy glances, their fears unspoken but present. She was no ordinary child. And when the unknown walks among men, men always seek answers. And so, her father took her to him, an ancient sage who lived on the fringes of the village, a man said to see beyond the veil of time, a man who could read the will of the gods. The sage gave her a silent glance. He did not ask her name. He did not need to. Instead, he placed his trembling hand upon her head, closed his eyes, and listened. And then he saw it. The sage gasped, pulling his hand away as if burned. His eyes, once filled with wisdom, were now filled with terror. She does not belong to this world. She is marked by fate, the sage continued, his voice heavy. The lake, it calls her, and one day, it will take her. The prophecy was spoken. The fate of Kalijai was sealed. But was she merely a girl bound to destiny? Or was she something more? something the world was never meant to understand. For in the heart of Chillica, the lake never forgets its own. As time passed, the long-awaited day arrived, the day bound to every girl's life, the day in which she will become a bride. Kalijai's heart sank as she faced the weight of her fate. With tear-filled eyes and a trembling voice, she pleaded, "No, Baba, please. I don't want to go. I don't want to marry." Her father sighed deeply, his gaze filled with both sorrow and resignation. "Gently," he said, "my child, this is your destiny. Your husband's home lies across the lake. We must leave before nightfall. Not all journeys begin with joy. Not all fates are chosen." Kalijai did not want to leave, but in a world where a daughter's will was not her own, choice was a luxury she could never have. The village was all she had ever known, the warm embrace of home, the laughter of familiar voices, the rhythm of the waves against the shore. But now she was being sent away, and there was no way back. She stepped onto the boat, her heart screaming louder than her lips ever could. The wind stirred the trees, the air thick with something unseen, almost as if warning her to stay. The sun dipped below the horizon, swallowed by the endless lake. The boatman rowed in silence. The air was heavy. Kalijai stared into the vastness, feeling something deep inside her, a whisper of fear she could not understand. And then the silence broke. A chill crawled up Kalijai's spine. Something was coming. Something unseen. Something waiting. The boat drifted in the middle of the lake. The winds had changed. The silence had stretched too long. And in the heart of Chillica, silence was never a good omen. Kalijai felt it before she saw it. A shiver ran down her spine, her breath catching in her throat. The air grew heavy, pressing against her chest. Something was wrong. A deep rumble of thunder rolled through the sky, echoing across the vast expanse of water. The lake's surface, once still, now quivered with unnatural ripples, like something beneath was stirring. The boat rocked, gently at first, then harder. The wind howled, tearing through the stillness, whipping Kalijai's veil into the air, a ghostly ribbon caught in the storm's grasp. Kalijai's lips parted, her voice barely above a whisper. Trembling with fear, she looked at her father. Her father gripped the side of the boat, knuckles white, his voice unsteady told, "Hold the boat and stay down, child." But the lake was not listening. The lake was awake. A powerful gust of wind slams into the boat. The oars slip from the boatman's hands. The water churns, growing violent. The sky, now black, cracks open with lightning. And then it came the wrath of the lake, a fury no man could escape. The waves rise higher, crashing against the small vessel. The boat tilts dangerously, water spilling over the sides. Kalijai grips the wooden edge, her breath ragged. She turns to her father, her eyes pleading. She screamed, "Baba, hold my hand!" Her father reaches for her, but the boat jerks violently. His grip slips. Kalijai screams as she loses her footing. The lake had chosen. The winds howled like mourning spirits as the water surged forward, taking her. A monstrous wave crashes down upon the boat. Kalijai's scream is lost to the storm. The storm has passed. The boat broken. The boatman shivering. The father gasping for air, alive but alone. When the storm settled, the boat was found. The boatmen were found, but Kalijai was gone. Her father staggers to his feet, his breath ragged. He scans the endless water, eyes wide, searching, desperate. By falling to his knees, he screamed, "Jake, my child, where are you?" But there was no response. He called for her. Again. And again. But the lake did not answer. Some say she drowned. Others say the lake had claimed her, that she was never meant to leave. But one thing was certain. The lake never gave her back. For days, her father searched. He waded through the waters, calling her name into the vast, unyielding lake, but only silence replied. From that day on, something shifted in Chilika. The waters were no longer the same. Something had awakened beneath the depths, something unseen, something eternal. But was Kalijai truly gone? One night, as a group of fishermen rowed across the lake, the only sound was the soft splash of their oars cutting through the water. Then, without warning, a voice gentle rose from the mist. Someone was singing. Panic seized them. They scanned the water, the shore, the sky. But there was no one. Fear gripped their hearts as they rushed to land, their whispers carrying across the village. But this was not the only incident. Stories spread of whispers drifting over the waves, of unseen footsteps echoing along empty shores, of a voice, distant and sorrowful, calling from the mist. At first, the villagers feared her, but in time they understood. Kalijai was not lost. She had become something more, a guardian of the waters, a spirit watching over those who dared to cross her lake. And so, the prayers began. Each time a boat set sail, her name was spoken in hushed reverence, a plea for safe passage. In time, the people built a temple not for a goddess, but for a girl whose sorrow became legend, whose name became a prayer. Even now the temple stands. Boats pause. Prayers are whispered, and on stormy nights when the wind howls through the temple walls, if you listen closely, you may still hear her voice. For some souls never leave. Some stories never end. And in the heart of Chilika, Kalijai lives on protecting the people from the water.